practices, which also this xenophobia, etc., etc. So she can interview Tibet if you want to. That's pretty cool. And then David will do the introduction talk just now, and then he'll probably do the interaction. So you can film him talking about the elephants and giving the guys the information and everything. So yeah, and then if there's any questions, you're welcome to fire. Cool. Okay.
There's not just building, but there's a massive reports about this program already, but let me just inform my editors because I have to live and just tell them that we have a meeting in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm working on next week.
We will do the introduction to Adventures with Elephants in 10 minutes. Yeah, so if you want to do that, then film him doing that 10 minutes, and then she can, and then he'll do the interaction for an hour, and then we can either interview her or just ask for her content. Okay. Cool.
Joseph, I'm never get close up. It's up to you. But next 10 minutes, after my introduction, like for example, let's talk on the guy, where we're coming from, where we are today, and what we're trying to achieve. Joseph, if you want to get close up. Okay. If you are fine, close up.
Yes, I appreciate it close up. Internationally,
doing? Excellent. Good, thank you. And once again, welcome to Adventures Elephants, and thank you all for making it. My name is David. I'll be giving a brief history on how the entire operation got started, where we're coming from, where we are today, and what we're trying to achieve. And we can bring elephants in the positions. We have a small head of 7, and we teach as much as we can about elephants. So it all started in Zimbabwe in 1988 when Mr. Rory Hensman applied for elephants from the culling operation that was happening in the Zambezi Valley. The idea behind was to bring the Zambezi a bit closer to his home, also to learn about elephants growing up in the wild. So bring bigger elephants. Xenos Parks Board delivered 2 young orphans from the operation, and they were obviously too young to be their own or to be released on the property. Instead, they were kept in stables, same like horses, and a keeper was appointed to look after them, and they were named Jumbo and Miseli. Beautiful names, ma'am. Yeah. And some kind of road on, Jumbo and Miseli started to respond the names, basic commands, following the keeper around, and they're also involved in various farm calls, like running up of cattle and checking of fence patrols. And the owner then realized there was more to those elephants than he originally anticipated, and more elephants were brought on his farm from around Zimbabwe, and they got a reputation in the orphanage or a sanctuary until there was a head of 12 of the property. And I'm not sure because of pets at home. Because of pets at home. What have they got? Because of pets at home. What have they got, ma'am? Horses, dogs, fish, hamsters, husbands, wives. I'll not get into trouble. You know the cost involved. I think of 12 elephants cost a fortune. And a family friend approached him and he said, why can't you get involved in tourism? You can reach a much wider, diverse audience and teach people more about elephants and conservation. So it all started from there. So in 1991, the first of 12 was moved across to Victoria Falls, and they started operating in the tourism sector, doing elephant experiences back then. And Mr. Rory was deeply involved in conservation work. He got himself another 12 elephants. So these 12 now, different plans. His idea was to use those elephants for the anti-poaching work along the Zambezi Valley. So his idea was now to take anti-poaching teams on the backs and they can patrol along the Zambezi Valley. Since elephants are the most natural diverse 4x4 you can find, they can patrol without having any problems. And the sense of smell is 14 times stronger than a good dog. St. Bernard is one of the best in the world. So the idea was to help with the anti-poaching work along the Zambezi Valley. And in 2002, if you follow African politics, Zimbabwe went the way it went, and farmer came down to South Africa and returned these elephants you meet today. So the idea today, bring them in with them and train for the interactions and also for the research projects going on. And in expectations from you guys, and expectations, it's World Elephants Day, and expectations, we want to touch one, we want to feed one, we want to hug one, we want to lick one. Yeah, I take it with. To the chicken, I promise you. So in your honesty, I'm going to take it beyond touch, feed, and photograph. Show the memories, their feet, their hearing, the skin, and all sorts. And from a conservation point of view, as an organization, we are big believers in giving wildlife a wide variety of values to a wide variety of people, so that more people are incentivized to look after wildlife. Hi guys, how you doing? Can I continue? Yes. There we go. There we go. So, as an organization, we are big believers in giving wildlife a wide variety of values to a wide variety of people, so that more people are incentivized to look after wildlife. So this herd you meet today, they came from a game reserve north of the country near Musina, and they're also regarded as problem elephants. So on the property they were in, they were far too many and causing damage, and pharmacy damage caused. From the neighbors reduced numbers, neighbors all refused and came to Rory and got these elephants. And any idea on how much the owner might have paid for these elephants? how much do you think elephant is worth to the landowner in Southern Africa? What value is an elephant? Any guesses? How much is an elephant? How much are you looking at? $40,000. He said about $40,000 for an elephant. Elephant, what's mega herbivore. So on this table, $40,000. Your guess, ma'am, plus minus, for an elephant, how much are you looking at? He said $40,000 US dollars.
Maybe less.
You going for less? Less. Your guess. Your guess. How much? $40,000 US dollars on this table. And she's going for less?
Million.
Yeah, we can do the rent.
1 million.
One bar. 1 million rand. Two bar. Getting exciting, getting exciting, getting exciting. Any second thoughts? Any second thoughts? Your guess, man, plus minus. How much are you looking for an elephant? How much? $100,000. I like the side more. And let me give some guidelines. 1920 in Africa, there were 4 million elephants across Africa, and today about only 400,000 remain, which is a 90% decrease in their numbers. And they sold a kudu the other day for 9.8 million rands for a kudu, which is close to $400,000 US dollars for a kudu, and a sable 22 million rands, and a buffalo 168 million rands, and cattle Boran Boo went for 8 million rands, and a koi goldfish for 1.2 million rands, and the racing pigeon for 5.5 million rands. Yeah. Still 40,000, still 100. Still. Any second thoughts? Any second thoughts? The owner paid zero. They were donated to Mr. Rory. Please take them away. They were premium elephants. So literally, farmers are giving elephants away because there are far too many in South Africa, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. There are far too many elephants. As what you have the press and the media, the numbers declined dramatically. It is true. And on the other hand, in the same period, the human population have gone the opposite. In 1920, from 200 million people to 1.4 billion people in Africa. It's set to double by 2050. And with us humans, who've taken all the best land for our cities, wildlife, and livestock. So we're taking animals land away, not managing the wildlife that land properly. As we look after wildlife, you have to balance the biodiversity for your animals and other species, and you have to keep the numbers in check. But they're quite destructive feeders, and they can push the entire tree. That's what the roots. And sometimes they can feed on very little, 2% for example, and they move to the next one. So they can turn a forest area to a grassland. They are very good at that. In addition, they destroy browsing for our rabies of animals like a black rhino, our nesting birds, our ground hornbills, our vultures, also with our secretary birds. They need those for the nesting, also for the habitats. So other animals are endangered, not only because of poaching, but due to elephants. So the browsing, also the habitat. So today, at Vegas Elephants, our mission is to inspire joy and interest in the African elephant, and to increase the awareness to the conservation issues facing wildlife and conservationists in a modernizing Africa, and to promote understanding that wildlife needs to have a value to as many people possible in order for it to survive, so that more people are incentivized to look after wildlife. And if I can put in simple terms, if you have rats in your kitchen, they're problematic, damage causing, they eat your food, they eat your clothing, they eat your furniture. How many of you would consider looking after those rats? Problem animals causing an issue. How would you feel of those rats? Find a cat, find some rat traps, and if some rats could protect you from robbers, how would you feel of those rats? Breed them, buy them all land. It's a sad reality. If it pays, it stays. It doesn't pay, we can get rid of it. And research work, this here, me today, they are the most diverse elephant in this country, from soft robotics to the sense of smell. They've done up to 40 different research on paper in the past 15 years up to date. So lots of work happening behind the scenes, from the skin, their hearing, their feet, and all sorts. And just now, elephants in their positions, we're going to interact with each one of them in turn. And on a safety note, you will get an opportunity to feed the elephants with game pellets or boscos. And if the food falls on the floor, please don't pick the food on the floor. You might bump into the tusks. It's quite sore. And the most important from our side, please enjoy the experience and learn as much as you can. But any other questions from our side? Any questions for me? Still in the morning. I like this group. And our last commercial piece, Ango Tapelo is a paparazzi. So you tell me, Ango Tapelo, please show the camera. He takes big photos. But the cameras and phones, you can take as many photos. They are fine, even the flash. And Tapelo's photographs will be on a USB for pages afterwards. So if you have photographs, please charge to Ango Tapelo. Yeah. Oh, the elephants approaching. And the two youngsters, Bella and Zambizi, they were born in our care. There's two of them. Bella, youngster of them all, she was born September 23 in 2016. So this coming month, she'll be turning 9 years old. And Zambizi, our third older calf, he was born on the 4th of October in 2015. Yeah, so this will be turning 10 years old. The two youngsters is 1 year difference. It's 1 year difference.
How much water does an elephant normally drink?
Oh, no, a fully grown bull was recorded to down over 50 gallons. It's about 200 liters, tasty. And our big bull, you can drink nearly half of that. So on average, they can down between 70 to 90 liters on average. Yeah. And also in the wild, that will depend with the water source. They can spend 2 to 3 days without water, and the food is a must. And that trunk, in one section, it can hold between 10 to 12 liters in one suction. Yeah. It's over 2 gallons in one suction. Yeah. But depends also on the size of the elephant. There's a medium size, the baby one, about 1 gallon. Yeah.
Oh, how much food, how many pounds of
Oh, the food. With elephants, they can consume up to 5% of the own body weight daily. So our big bull, we estimate, is about 3 tons. So it can consume around 150 kilograms of food a day, about 300 pounds of food a day, just to cover the big bull, just to him. So elephants, they are what make a herbivore. So when the grass is in season, in our rain season, they more into the grass. And now it's dry, it's winter time, they are no more into the trees. You know, the trees are in trouble. Yeah, they're in trouble. The trees are in trouble. They can cause a huge amount of damage. They're quite destructive. So these trees, this area, they are recovering from the damage elephants have caused. So they're quite destructive. So they can turn a forest area to a grassland, but they are very good at that. They are very good at that.
how long do they live?
We are looking at around 65 to 70 on average. Yeah, almost like us humans. And they are fully grown. When they reach around 35 to 40, they reach their full body sizes. Yeah. It's still growing. Yeah. Beautiful. Look at the look. What is too cold? Yeah? It's too
How
cold.
fast can they run?
They can reach up to 42 km an hour. Yeah, that'll be more for stiff walk. They'll clear anything in the way. They clear anything in the way.
They just go through it.
Yeah, they can do everything. And the fastest human was 37 km an hour. So they are pretty fast. They're pretty fast. They're pretty fast. So, Baba, when you're ready, we'll head across for the interaction from the positions. We work with them, each one of them in 10. Yeah, they can head across. So, ready to meet the elephants? You ready?
We're ready.
Super excited, beautiful. Please come through. Please come through. Closer, man. Not that far away. The fraction closer.
People come with a line.
Sure you don't bite?
No. I would bite. Good. Okay, is that everyone? And once again, welcome to Adventures Elephants and my colleague Joseph.
Good morning, everyone.
And our first elephant here, her name is Musina. Yeah, Musina, she was named after a town north of the country. And she is a fantastic elephant, absolute born leader. And for her age, she can stay behind other elephants. She can walk in front. She can walk on her own. She's fine. And we suspect probably her grandmother or her mother at some stage was a matriarch. And you know what a matriarch is? Matriarch.
Oh, yeah.
The leader of the herd. Absolutely correct. And most in the world, she will be the eldest female. She is the one who's responsible for the leadership roles, where to find food, water, and a nice feeding area. And with Musina here, she's one of those elephants you can ask to jump over the moon, and she can do exactly that. She's a fantastic elephant. And with Musina, you are more than welcome to the elephant, and the food we'll be feeding, we call it boscos, or game pellets. They are not meant only for elephants, for the horses, cattle, impala, and other animals. And this boscos is mainly some grain and some grain byproducts, and they've added some molasses, so that molasses plays a major role. I like the molasses a lot. So for feed Musina, only time you can come forward, hold the trunk, hold the trunk with one hand like this, and you can pull the treat from the top section slowly until the photo have been taken, and you let it go. Okay, this one is for you, ma'am. Please come forward, ma'am. Can come and feed Musina with you, madam. Thank you, Tia Musina. Here you are, Musina. Fantastic.
Because I got it.
Beautiful. And a little more for you, ma'am. Look at the camera. Look at the big camera. There we go. Fantastic. Yeah, now you can lick your hand. Yummy, yummy. You're not hungry, ma'am. You're not hungry.
Not that hungry.
Please come here. And for you, ma'am, you must also feed Musina. She's a lovely and a few more for you. Beautiful. Fantastic.
Hey, Julie, get a little closer.
That's a nice one. Fantastic. Beautiful. You must also feed Musina when she's done. You also feed Musina. Beautiful. Well done. Here we go. Fantastic. That's a nice one, Billy. That's so clever. Beautiful, fantastic. Yes, you're good. You must also feed Musina. The lovely, lovely.
No. You're busy? Okay.
Oh, Daddy, yes, clever. Fantastic. Oh, Daddy, that's so clever, Musina. Beautiful. Let's give him a treat. Fantastic. And then you can get the video ready. Yes. And so, why are you still there? Is the video ready, man? We need some concrete evidence. Over here, sir. Over here. Ask him, Musina, will you marry me? Musina, you want to marry him? To be your husband? Yes. You like him? Yes, Musina. Here you go. She said yes. Yeah, that's a new one. You can take her home with you, say. It will be a big yard and a big yard. And you can grow corn for her. I bet of it. Here we go. Yes. Well, very good. Please go ahead. Go ahead. Take it to see that.
How are you today?
Here we go. See that? Okay, get it. Here we go. See that you are so clever. Fantastic. Beautiful, that's a nice one. Here we go. I tell you what, with Musina here, there's a very short memory game we need to play with her. So you invite 4 volunteers from you guys. So what will happen, I will introduce the 4 of you individually to Musina here by name. And from there, I'm going to ask Musina to pick my cap and give to any of you by connecting to your names. And later on, we'll do the shoes. Okay, any 4 volunteers, please. I'm going to one here, 2, 3, and I need one more. I need one more. The 4 of you, thank you very much. Okay, who would like to be first? Feed Musina. Please come forward. As when you feed Musina, you tell Musina your name. Joseph, when you're ready, you go ahead.
Musina, check it. Tell Musina your name.
My name's Sully.
Let him move, Sully.
Yeah,
Let him move.
My name's Sully.
Last one.
My name's Sully.
That you do, Sully. That you do, and you can go ahead, madam.
All of them once.
My name's Grisette. Grisette.
That you do, Grisette. You go ahead, sir.
You say my name?
Yeah, you can just say your name. You say your name. Yeah, yeah. That's your name. That's tough.
Wade.
Let him move.
Wade. Wade.
Wayne, that you do, Mr. Wayne.
Chanel.
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 Open this away.
Chanel.
Chanel, that you do, Madam Chanel. And with Musina, she doesn't have to see what you're doing here. Joseph, can you please take Musina to the other side? Take it that side, please, Joseph.
Other side,
Yeah, take it that side. Like, that side, Musina. So, Madam Chanel, you can come and stand over here. Over here, Madam Chanel. And Madam Grisette, you stand over here. And Sally, facing you early like that. And Sally, I need you over here. Yes, Sally. And Mr. Wayne, I need you over here. See. I need you over here. Okay, that you do. So now, I'm going to ask Musina to pick my cap and give to any of you by connecting to your names. Musina, you ready? Simon the cap. Musina, remember Chanel. There we go. Getting clever. You can throw back to her. Sina, remember Sally? There we go. Where's Grisette? Grisette. There we go. And last one. Remember Mr. Wayne? Where's Wayne? Wayne. There we go. Getting clever. Thank you very much, Mr. Wayne. So that was through some 2 minutes of introduction. Now let's try something more difficult. If you can swap your position, we still in the game. If you can swap your positions, just mix up to confuse the elephants. If you can swap, okay, that will do. And now, may I have a shoe each from you, please? Just one shoe each will do. Thank you very much. I can use your head if you're happy. I can use your head. Thank you very much, Mr. Wayne. Thank you so much. You're winning the game. Thank you very much. So now, I will demonstrate to you how quick their digestive system can be. So I don't know who will be the unlucky one to go home without a shoe on all the heads. Ask me the trunk, please do. Ask me the trunk. I've seen it here, you are. I've seen it eat here, you are. I'm joking. So I'm going to ask Musina to pick a shoe here in the head and the slopes and find the rightful owner by connecting to the sand. The command now is going to be pick it up. Whose is it? Simons and Diani. Musina, go for it. Simons again. Simons and Diani. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Simons again. Simons. Simons and Diani.
Clever fit.
Wow.
Beautiful. Well done again. Beautiful. And last.
Yeah. Who's that?
Oh, Daniel, getting clever. Now, thank you all for playing. Now I can take your shoes back on the head back on. That gives you an idea about the memory. So the first part, when feeding Musina, is the memory. And the second part is the sense of smell, which is incredible. So with elephants, with that memory, in years of drought, they can remember where to find food, water, and a nice feeding area, which is very interesting. So elephants, they never forget. They never forget. Yes, the elephants never forget. That memory goes a long way with the network, where to find food, water, and a nice feeding area. It's very interesting. Oh, thank you, thank you, Masina. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Jelly. All right, shall we meet Zambizi next door? Let's meet Zambizi. Instead of flanking closer, not that far away, instead of flanking closer. And our next elephant here, his name is Zambizi. And my colleague here is Sydney.
Hello, guys. Hello.
And Zambizi, he was named after Zambezi River, north of Zimbabwe. That's the owner's favorite place. So we named him Zambizi in memory of the owner. Of the first elephants he trained, they came from the Zambezi Valley. And Zambizi is very enthusiastic, he's full of energy. And Zambizi and Bella, these two youngsters were born in captivity. And they were born in our care. He was born on the 4th of October in 2015. And Bella next door, she was born September 23 in 2016. So this coming month is Bella's birthday. She'll be turning 9 years old. And Zambizi will be turning 10 years old. The two youngsters is 1 year difference. And Bella next door, she's our sugar and spice. And Zambizi is very enthusiastic, he's full of energy. So each time he presents a behavior to us, he does it full energy. So with our taming and training, our taming and training is very, very simple. We work on the bilateral ask and reward system. So we ask elephant to do something. If they do it correct, we give some treat in return. And if they do it incorrect, we keep the reward away until they can do it better and better next time. We call it a positive reinforcement. And it works very, very well for us. Same the dogs and the horses, we apply the same technique. And with elephants, they love citrus. Bring oranges, and they can do anything for you. They love citrus and fruits. Oranges, apples, bananas, they can do anything for you. And with Zambizi, you can do an amazing talk. Ask him for a talk, please, Uncle Sydney.
Zambizi talk.
Beautiful. You hear that? What did Zambizi say? What did he say, man? And it's amazing how they learn our language, but we haven't tried to learn their language yet. So they're way ahead of us. And with elephants, they can communicate at a distance far away to each other with that vocalization. And we did our own research with the US military, so they can communicate up to 12 kilometers. And the girls up in Kenya, they reckon they can communicate up to 45 kilometers. And all the same, still a long distance. And they can pick that ultra low frequency sound and vibration with the feet. And the other day, our neighbor Mabula, they getted no water. Elephant dug a pipe in the ground, 0.5 meter. They dug it up. They could feel there was water running underground. And they dug the pipe and they had all the water. And they getted no water. And they had all the water. And what you can do for us, Sydney? Head check. Please show the head check. There we go. Beautiful. And with that head check for the first time, what we do, we put some grass on their heads. And the grass is ticklish, and the elephant shakes it off. And the command head check is given to the elephant immediately. So if you capture behavior, we reinforce that behavior. Yeah, so when you train them, it's the name and the command. So we focus mainly on medical behavior and also control behavior. If it's medical behavior and it's high energy behavior, we increase the food reward. We bring in a bigger reward for the elephant. Because when it's high energy behavior, like lying down, it's quite an effort. If they get a cut or sore the back or the vet here, if they lie down, it's voluntary of the vet, we're going to clean the cut or the sore on the back. So that they can do that voluntary. All right. What, so I need to, please show the high five.
High five.
Show the high five. Look at that. Up. There we go again. So clever and busy. And that high five is also a medical behavior. If they get a cut or sore on the foot, if there's a thorn, they bring the foot to us. We can take the thorn out, or they can clean the cut or the sore on the foot. Yeah, thank you, Sydney.
Right,
thank you, Zambizi. And I shall meet Sean next door. He comes into Sean. Come on. Leave it. And our next elephant here, their name is Shan. And Shan is a Welsh name. She was named after a lady who gave here to us. And my colleague is Jerika.
Hello guys.
And with the Shan, she is a responsive elephant. Everything she does is straight down the line. Do it straight, do it quick, and do it fast. No sense of humor at all. Yes, serious temperament. So with the Shan, doesn't play around, the serious one. And she is also one of a good example. You can identify a male from a female. A question for you: how can you point out a male from a female just by looking? Your guess, Mania. How can you point out?
From the head.
Absolutely right. Absolutely correct. Mania, you are spot on. Like he said, female elephants in particular, they carry a more prominent forehead. At the top section, they are more angular, they are more pointed. At the bottom section, at the bottom square, they are more flat. And you know why the females are more pointed like that? You know why, ma'am? You know why? It's because of window shopping. So they break a lot of glass in the process. I'm joking. They are smarter. So in the elephant kingdom, female elephants are in charge for the leadership, where to find food, water, and a nice feeding area. And the male elephants, they remain seldom. They are ready to find. They'll come into the herd when they search for a female estrus or the task are done, they wander off. So they remain seldom. And also if you look at the size in general, the males, they grow bigger. And the females, they are relatively smaller. So with the bulls, when they're fully grown, they can reach an incredible 6 tons in weight. And the females, they exceed 3 tons. It's nearly double. It's nearly double. Also, if you look at the tusks, elephants, both male and female, they grow tusks. And for the males, those tusks, they grow to be larger. And the ones on record for the bulls, the tusks were 120 pounds. And for the females, they're only 22 pounds. The bulls, they carry massive, massive tusks. And also those tusks, they act as part of the upper incisor teeth, tearing branches, foraging for roots, and also as a defense mechanism. Particularly the elephants, they are using the tusks. Like the 6-ton bull, when they're fighting, they can apply a 90-ton force on each other. Massive. So they can knock each other over heels, just like that. So the bull flying like you can't believe. And breeding-wise, elephant females, they start breeding at an age of 12, going for 13. Under good conditions, they can produce a calf roughly around every 3 to 5 years. And their gestation period is around 22 months. Pregnancy time, 22 months. And lactation, about 24. So the elephants, they are the slowest breeders in the animal kingdom. As in enough time, she can have something between 8 to 12 babies on average. As in a breeding herd with elephants, for example, they can increase birth over death by at least 8%. So in just under 9 years, they can double their numbers. You can get an escalating elephant population right up to the roof. And that have a huge impact on your vegetation. They can cause a huge amount of damage. You was asking earlier, they can consume up to 5% of the own body weight daily. So our big butcher at the end, we estimate about 3 tons. So they can consume around 150 kilo food a day, about 300 pounds, just chova. And every morning, chova alone, we are cleaning 3 wheelbarrows of dung in the stable. Just chova. Yeah, 3 wheelbarrows of dung. Yeah. So they can cause a huge amount of damage. And what can she do for us, Jerika? She will do much. So she meets my lady. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, your lady. And any other questions regarding Sean? Any questions from your side? Still early in the morning, I like this club. And I shall meet an old lady next door. Yeah. She won't do much. That's your elephant, madam. That's your elephant. Absolutely. And our next elephant here, her name is Naledi. Naledi meaning the star. And my colleague has weekend.
Hello, guys.
You can call him Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. You can call him. Yeah. And Naledi, she likes partying. She is a party animal. She is full of character. And she is taking the role as the auntie. She is the one running around left, center, and right. So Naledi, she is the opposite to Elephant Shani next door. And you can notice the lady, she's missing the task. She lost a task before she came to us. She came to us with a broken task, and it was a septic. It was a huge passy mess. And the task, it was the main reason why she was chosen from the wild to save the task. And we had to call our dentist from the Woodspits area, Alec Van Heden, to do a root canal treatment on her. Because of the vet, our dentist was temporal filling in, and she broke it. A second temporal filling was put in place, and that cleared all the infection. They applied a permanent was successful. The task was coming out nicely. And not long ago, she broke it again, and the tooth came right out. And again, the tip of the trunk, that cut, you see the trunk, was from a wire cable. And when she was new in this area, she found a loose wire cable lying around.
A snare?
A wire snare. So they were cattle farming before the elephants. And she picked one of those wire snares, and she was caught the tip, and she panicked. She pulled the trunk very hard, and the cable pulled in. And with that cut, we had to call all the leading vets from the University of Oniskapot in Pretoria to do some stitching on her, and they applied the stitches back to normal. When they pulled the stitches out, it was open again. And so they suggested I will leave that will heal completely, but the other part, it will remain the same. And luckily, the nerve endings were not too affected, so she can still use the fingers as the tip. And the thumbs is playing some music. So now lady, she is accident for the end of the time. She is the one involved. Same with the horses, when they play across the fence, they can injure themselves quite easily. And now lady here, she'll done for us, and we can get an opportunity to touch and feel the skin at the back. You can bring her over here, or she can lie over here. You can stay back a fraction, and she can lie over here. And with elephants, they lie down only when they feel safe and secure of the surroundings. And so in the wild, when they lie down, it is more vulnerable, because for them to get up on the feet again, it's quite an effort. It takes up to 5 seconds, and an impala, for example, will be 100 meters away. So they normally prefer sleep against the big tree or a termite mound. And either way, when there's a possible danger, they are easily defeated and they can escape. Here we go. She's getting there, she's getting there. Look at those eyelashes.
Yeah.
And the mascara there, ladies. Lie down for us, girl. Please come through, come touch and feel. Come and touch and feel. Yeah, touch and feel. Yes. Yummy. You go in. Yes, ma'am. You don't charge me, sir. Yeah, charging you. So the elephants, they are born with those hairs, with the sensitivity. So flies bothering, they can feel all that with the aid of those sensory hairs. The sensory hairs, they act more like whiskers on a cat. They've got many hairs per square inch. Look at that. They've got many hairs per square inch. Look at that. They've got many hairs per square inch. Yeah, many hairs. Beautiful. Look at that. Lovely. And with elephants, they are highly governmental. All their digestive system takes place in that big stomach chamber. Same with the horses, warthogs, and zebras. They are non-ruminant animals. They are entitled to only one stomach chamber. They don't chew the cud. And with elephants, for example, they digest only 40 to 44% of what they take in, and the rest comes through the back door. They're quite well for feeders. So they compensate that by processing a huge amount of coarse feed. So with elephants, you take quite a lot to sustain at that tremendous weight as we get the system going. Let me show you the ear. Okay, let me show you the ear, Mr. Wade. Now, ladies, Zooey. You can come and touch and feel. inside of the ear, you can touch and feel. It's very, very soft. And outside here is the opposite. And you feel here, touch and feel. They're very, very soft. And with elephants,
Can she feel this?
absolutely, they can feel all that with the aid of the sensory hairs. So those sensory hairs, they are connected to the nerve endings. Yeah, they're connected. Touch over here, touch and feel. And that's an artery, and that's a vein. You can feel the pulse over here. Feel the pulse over here. Yeah, over here. Can you pick up anything? Yeah, over here, madam, feel the pulse. Over here. So the artery is carrying all the oxygen-rich blood from the heart to the entire body. And the vein is the reversing one. So the vein is carrying all the oxygen depleted blood back to the heart. Is the reversing one. Over here, feel the pulse.
Through the ears.
Yeah, really. You feel it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And she's alive.
Yep.
She's alive. Yeah, get you over here. Over here, man. Over here. Get the pulse.
No, it's fine.
Feel the pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel it. Here we go. Beautiful. And there's no meat in there. It's all cartilage. And when they happen to have a cut, it won't grow back. Like what happened here. So this section is called blood supply. And that will end up rot off. And they end up with the touch ears. And she's got more touch ears. At night time, we put some earrings. And she'll get a little recording only at night time. And the ear hole, there's another inside. The ear hole is located on the outside. There's the ear hole. It's a tiny. There it is now. It's on the outside. So with elephants, the ear was outside here. It's largely because those huge ears, they are the mobile cones that funnel sound waves down through to the eardrum. So it makes their sense of hearing way above that of the human ear. So they can communicate at a distance far away to each other through vocalization. So lucky for them, they don't need any cell phones. They make their own trunk calls. So they flip the ear like this, and then zero. They are trying to get a better reception, collecting more sound. They can pick the sound with 100 meters. They can pick that. So their sense of hearing is exceptional, and the sense of smell is phenomenal. So they don't need the eyesight that much. So with blind elephants, they can make catch happily because they don't chase for the prey. They just grab a few drugs of the day. Comes the eyesight with elephants, they poor sight altogether, often better than believed. However, they have more rods and cones. They can see better at night time than during the day. And they don't have a tear duct like we have. What they have is a nictitating membrane. You can see that? You can see that, ma'am? Yeah, taking all the dirt at one corner of the eye. And so this from is the corner here is carrying all the dust and the sand. You can see that? And when it accumulates the corner here, it trickles down in the form of tears. And she can easily wipe that is the trunk. So everything she does all day long revolves the trunk. It is extremely dexterous and yet an enormously powerful two-fingered hand. So that trunk for a size, she can lift up to 400 kilograms, 800 pounds, just like, without thinking about it, just like that, just like that. Here we go. And ma'am, you can ask her, my lady, get up.
My lady, get up.
Now, lady, you must listen to me. Oh, that's a nice photo. That's a nice one. Do you want to get some better one? That's a nice photo, lady. Beautiful. Fantastic. You took a nice one?
Yeah.
Lovely. You want? Oh, please go ahead. Yeah, can you go ahead? I could be a picture of the you know, going for one number. Come begin another minute. Come begin another. Yeah. The more for them in here. And look at each other. Look at each other. Ma'am, give him a kiss. Give him a kiss. Yeah.
It's my sister.
Yeah, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. I wonder. Beautiful. That's a nice one. Fantastic. Well done, Gilly. That's so clever. Are you with the photos? You took a nice one.
Yeah.
And ma'am, you can condition now. You tell the command. Now, lady, get up. Oh, one more. Sorry, one more command. Oh, please go. Sorry. That's a nice one. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's a nice one.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. Everybody else is doing
Beautiful.
it.
One more,
Do
one
it.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Come be like you're my child.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Fantastic. Well done, Billy. Beautiful. Chanel, you give the command.
Now, lady, get up.
She's getting there. Now, lady, listen
Now,
to madam.
lady, get up.
She's working the accent. She's working the accent. She's getting there. Now, lady, listen to madam.
Now, lady, get up.
She's getting there. She's getting there. Look at it. Look at it. There we go, Gilly. So clever. Sally, she's like you in the morning. You do exactly that. So thank you, lady. Thank you, Gilly. Beautiful. All right, show me the choma next door. You can't do the choma. And the choma. You can send the fraction closer. You can send the fraction closer. And our next elephant here, his name is Chova. And my colleague is Griffin. Hi guys. And the Chova is a wonderful, wonderful elephant. Very, very friendly. Within a week, from the wild, Chova here was taking food from our hands. So Chova was willing to work with the humans. And it's very unfortunate at the tip of the trunk. You can notice that Chova is missing those two finger-like projections. It's a mystery and it's a sad story. It happened in our care. We saw tip of the trunk this much lying in the center of his stable in the morning. And when he was in pain, Chova could stand close to every tree and he could break a few branches and hand feed the Chova. For drinking water, it was a bit of a problem for him when he put a hose straight to his mouth and he could drink from there. But now with his trunk, let me show you. I picked a stick from the ground. Just watch Chova Simuza. As a Chova, he locks one end with his foot and he picks the other half. And nobody told him to do that. So he made the plan B. So Chova, he is not feeling handicapped anymore. And so being said, he is a wonderful, wonderful elephant. Very, very friendly. Yes, clever, buddy. And Robert, can you show us the teeth? And did you know elephants have got teeth? Did you know they have teeth? Let me show you the teeth. Chova, can you show us your teeth, buddy? Show us your teeth, Chova. And if you can take a closer look at the elephant's mouth, can you see the molars? The teeth. You can take a photo. You can take a photo that here you are, Chova. Here you are. Here you are, Chova. So that's where the milling action starts with elephants, and they get 6 sets of those molars in their lifetime. So they get more sets than us. We get only 2 sets. Here we go. And with those molars, after the first set is worn out, it is pushed away by the second set. So those molars migrate from the back of the jaw, coming all the way forward, until when the last set is gone, elephant will no longer be able to chew its food more effectively. And as a result, elephant will die of starvation or malnutrition related. That loss of teeth, it is a little cause of death among mature elephants. It's a hard way to die. And the sort of elephant graveyards comes in when the last set is gone, and they will focus on parts like riverbanks and swampy areas, mainly for that soft and green vegetable material, and eventually they die in those areas. So they don't go there to die, but they try to stay alive. And that tongue is the mouth, that tongue is a tag at the bottom. So Chova can't go, so Chova can't speak. Chova talk. Beautiful. So Chova forms a hook, look at that. That tongue forms a hook, and they put the branch inside. Say if I put the food over here, Chova can't scoop, so use the trunk to bring everything back in his mouth. So the tongue is a big muscle, it's moving back and forth. Well done, buddy. Chova, you are so clever. Let's take him more in the open. Bring him here. Yeah, bring him over here. Bring him over here. Away from the water. Here we go. So Chova, unlike with Musila, your elephant Chova here adopted a new way of feeding, looking for the side. Griffin, can you please show us how to feed Chova, Baba? Okay, to feed Chova, guys, is very easy. Each one of you, you come here. So Chova, you form a hook like this, and you put food on top. For more adventures, you can ask him to come down, then you can hug him.
A nice big guy.
While Papalaza is taking pictures.
Absolutely. This is for you. Please come forward. You my sweet children.
Come down, Chova.
Oh my
Nice one,
goodness.
beautiful. That's a nice one. Where you answer. Fantastic.
Come. Come down, Chova.
Are you really?
Good boy, Chova.
You never know.
I'm from here, man. The dog. Please go ahead. Get this from Houston. $16. Enjoy. There we go. Now give a nice big hug, man. A nice big hug. Beautiful. That's a nice one.
You are clever boy, Chova.
That's a good one. Beautiful.
Yeah, you can come.
You go ahead. Wherever you go.
Is the foot name?
Okay.
Bring down.
Nice big hug, man. Beautiful. Fantastic. Everybody.
Good boy, Chova.
Beautiful.
It's Chova.
My sunglasses, like, all of a sudden I couldn't see.
Chova.
There we go. And nice down. Nice one. That's a beautiful photo. Well done, buddy. Fantastic.
I wanted to make sure.
Yes, you can
So,
come.
you go ahead, Sally. The chopper is all yours. There we go. Now give me a
Come down,
hug.
Chova.
Give me a hug, Sally. Beautiful. And Sally, give him a kiss. Give him a kiss. A proper kiss. Yeah. What have you done to him?
Why don't you love elephants?
Meneer, alsjeblieft. Alsjeblieft, meneer. There we go, buddy. Now
Bring
give
down Chova.
Yes, C-H-O-V-A. Chova. This elephant name is very, very. Meneer, sweet.
My wife won't let me kiss her.
Chova, you can come down in front of the groups or the pairs and we can have a photo taken. Oh, please. Yeah, please go, now give me a hug. Now give me a nice big hug. Proper hug, wait, proper hug. Like that. Here we go. And when you do this, and if you do a photo next to Chova, you can come and stand alongside Chova. And photo with the whole elephant in. Chova together. Now please come join him for photo. Yeah, please come. I'm going to get like a tapella. Have a photo. We'll take one to you like that. Beautiful photo. Fantastic. Yeah, give the photo. Go like that. Here we go. Beautiful.
Take our picture. Wait a minute.
Well done, buddy. And Sally, here we go. And look at Uncle Tapay. Have a photo. That's a nice one. Fantastic. Which? Never keep the pose, man.
Come on.
Yes, Ali. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's a nice one. Lovely. Beautiful. I like it. Fantastic. Let's do one for Menier. Menier, you can bring back and meet. Let's see if you're together. Father, let's cheer you back. Beautiful. It's a pleasure. Any other questions? Any questions for me? In a day's walk, with elephants, they can cover up to 50 kilometers. And that will depend at where food and water are to be found. Since elephants are not territorial, so what they do, they occupy some home ranges and they can use part of them as a seasonal or irregular rotation. Yeah, very interesting. 50 kilometers a day, yeah, over 30 miles a day, yeah, over 30 miles.
100 miles pretty quick.
Yeah, just like that, just like that. And any other questions? Was there any questions for me? And well, with that, that marks the end of our interaction. Thank you very, very much. By a donkey. Thank you so much for coming. So from the Better team, we appreciate your visits. And next time you come, bring all the cousins. You can bring everyone. This is about your elephant. You say thank you to the Better team for making the success. You're more than welcome. Say thank you to your team and what they are doing. Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Thank you very, very much. Photo. Please take a photo.
Yes.
Yeah, the team.
You're a mind reader.
Yeah, please take a photo. Yeah, please take a photo.
You're the man.
Thank you so much.
You're bubbly.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for bringing her. See the elephant. It's special dinner. It's Elephant Day. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, thank you. Bye-bye. You're from Joburg or Victoria? Water.
What's up here in that? Little too many minutes.
So it depends on where you are.
They're gonna come with you. So what's your plan, Baba?
So, it's Andrea, right?
Yes.
Do you mind if we maybe...
Just picking up. And how audible can you be?
Pardon?
How audible can you be?
Okay. So,
Yeah, you can just introduce yourself, your name, where are we right now? Just like
great. Hi everyone. So my name is Andrea Bauer. I'm from the Elephant Care Association of Southern Africa. Today we are in Bella Bella at Adventures with Elephants. And ICASA, basically what we do is we work with all of the semi-captive elephant facilities across Southern Africa, and we assist in training staff in best handling, best practice, and we ensure the best practice for elephants under human care.
And you know, I see all the elephants that are around. I mean, if for somebody out there, how can they celebrate just the Elephant Day? What do they need to know about elephants and their background, just the general?
Okay, elephants are extremely emotionally intelligent, and the best part about coming to a place like this is you get to meet the elephants, you get to understand their personalities, their relationships with each other, and that is what we strive to achieve, is to make sure that we maintain our relationships with them so that we can have best practice and best care for them, ensuring that their well-being and that their welfare is fantastic and they have good enrichment in their daily lives.
And maybe 5 or 3 things that can blow people's mind about elephants.
What can blow their minds about elephants? They eat constantly. They don't stop eating all day. They play a lot, and their relationships are really important to them. So their relationships between each other, their relationships with their handlers, they spend a lot of time with them. That's absolutely amazing. How much water they can drink at one time, especially in summer, they can drink a lot of water. I mean, an adult male elephant can hold up to 20 liters of water in their trunk at a time. And yeah.
And you know, I mean, with right now celebrating the World Elephant Day, what would you say in terms of like their safety? Are they close to extinctions like we're seeing with the rhinos? How is their safety in the African continent?
Safety is a big issue at the moment. The human-elephant conflict is the hugest problem, and places not maintaining the practices around in terms of not managing their populations is really, really important. So managing populations is important because they destroy their environment that they're in, and then those populations will decrease because they don't have anywhere else to go. So opening corridors, allowing the elephants to move through as they used to. Farmers, obviously we've taken all of their natural spaces and we've turned them into farms. They walk through those areas, which 100 years ago they've been taught by the matriarch to go through those areas, and now it's a farm. So the human-elephant conflict is quite great because they're going through places where they used to go or where they've been taught to go. So definitely working on things like corridors or just diverting them from those areas is really important.
And if you don't mind, can you tell us about the fella behind us, name, age?
Yes, so behind us is Shan. I think she's around 25 years old. There's a little bit of a social issue between Shan and Messina because they don't really know who wants or who is matriarch, so it's possible that they both came from a matriarch mother, and now they argue about it every now and then. Straight directly behind me, this little one over here is Bella. Bella is 8 years old. She'll be turning 9 soon. She's got the sharp little tusks over there. She's an absolute sweetheart. She's still learning the rules and regulations of what she should and shouldn't do. But she's a very intelligent and very sprightly little elephant. And that is her auntie Shan pushing her out the way. And next to her is her auntie Nonedi. And Nonedi is a really great aunt. So Nonedi is a good auntie, and whenever the babies run off, or Bella likes to run out in the morning and trumpet and freak everyone else out, and Nonedi will be the first one behind her, supporting her, making sure everything is okay. So what's also interesting is elephants can actually urinate and defecate every like 10 to 15 minutes. Bella's right in front of the camera. Bella. She doesn't like going through the cold water. There's a pathway over here, so she usually takes the pathway. Oh, it's cold. You can see the tail up. So when they get excited, the tail will go up, the head will go up, the ears will go out. So if they're excited or nervous, or if they hear anything going on, then the tail and the head goes up. You can see Shan here is not really nervous.
And are you able to maybe touch on the conservation methods that are being
So when coming to Adventures with Elephants here in Bella Bella, you get to meet 6 of these amazing elephants. You will learn how their memories are, so how they can remember people, their sense of smell. You get to touch them. You get to learn their different personalities. You can see them, watch them drink. You can watch them chase warthogs as they are. So they're quite specific relationships with other animals. It's really interesting to watch them in their natural environment, which is absolutely amazing. You can also see what we do with the elephants in terms of training, because all the training we do is for their safety and their health. So a lot of what we do is we teach them to voluntarily do medical behaviors. So when they shake their heads, when they lift up their foot for a high five, it's not actually training them for a high five, it's so that if we need to do any foot care, we can actually lift up their foot and they're used to us touching them. So any training that is done with the elephants is voluntary or reinforced, and they're happy to do it. So warthogs is food competition. They're trying to steal the food that was on the floor here, so she's chasing them away. The warthogs are getting more and more brave. She's just checking that nobody's got food this side.
Baba, how many people? Sorry, Mambo, there is a walk. I think the guest. 2. Oh. Oh. Oh, thank you very much. Baba, ponda bari.
Tell them to send us a bird.
So that's to set up first. I just want the microphone.
Okay.
Because I also want to position the camera to actually put in a wide shot. Can you look at me? Just want to check. Will you be able to check the head a bit more? Yeah, perfect, perfect.
So my name is Sean Hensman, and I'm at Adventures with Elephants in Bela Bela, Limpopo, South Africa. And we run an educational interactive facility. We've got a herd of elephants here where people are able to meet the elephants, connect with them, learn about them. We tell them everything from their tail to their trunk and everything in between. And then over and above that, we do research with the elephants, a whole bunch of conservation and community projects as well.
And the research and conservation part, can you just a bit brief us of like what processes are there, what conversation?
So with regards to research, we're open to all sorts of research. We've done in the last the last 15 years about 40 different papers varying on their scenting and their communication, all the way through to how they look at risk. The idea is to milk formulas, you name it, we've been involved in it. The idea is to learn as much as we can about the elephants and then utilize what we've learned to see if we can use that to help humanity, as well as obviously elephants and conservation. So we do a lot of anti-poaching, trial a lot of anti-poaching technologies. We trial human-wildlife conflict solutions, a bunch of things like that. So our research is varied, just to expand our knowledge of elephants and then utilize that knowledge to be able to do certain things. Our conservation projects, we've designed an AI autogate to allow elephants to migrate so that they can now access land that they wouldn't normally have access to. We've got light aircraft doing anti-poaching work. We've got various things happening. Community projects from vegetable gardens for schools through to our orphanage project and our hospital project where we're trying to help children with cancer. So a whole host of things, football teams, etc.
I noticed how some of the visitors were engaging with the elephants, first time experiencing them. Can you just take us on the educational parts of being close and being at this reserve and being informed about this one? Like what kind of knowledge does one leave out there?
Yeah, so it's difficult because I've lived it my whole life, and the way I see it, what we do is I can take you to the Kruger National Park and I can show you 100 elephants and I can tell you that this is who they are and what they're about. I can show them to you on television back home. You could be watching me right now and seeing the elephants back there, and I can say they're wonderfully intelligent animals, and they have a I don't know, a Jacobson's organ, or they can be incredibly gentle. I can tell you that, but here you're able to actually meet them, connect them, and then I can really show you that. It's like if you have a pet dog or a cat at home, if I explained it versus you actually interacting with it, and you get to respect it and learn that much more about it. So that's what we're about. We're just really trying to push the connections between humans and the elephants, allow people to meet them and thoroughly engage in learning about them. And then I feel I can teach you probably more in the hour that you spend with us than you get on pretty much any game drive out there. Yeah.
Yes, and I noted there were like 6 or 7 elephants around that were roaming around. I can't imagine how big the nature reserve is on its own. And if you can just tell us how many, or like an estimate of how many do you have?
So we've actually got 7 elephants here. And they range from 8 years old to about 35. So we've got Bella and Zambezi who were born here, and then Chova is our dominant male, and then we've got the females in between all of that. And the farm size, or the property size, the game reserve that we're on, is 300 hectares. So it's pretty small for 7 elephants. Normally you would have to have 1 elephant per 1,000 hectares in the wild. That's the rough estimate. Obviously different habitats you can have more or less, deserts less and forests more. So that's it. But we supplement feed our elephants. We obviously look after them. We buy in a lot of food and stuff so that they are able to live in this space quite comfortably. They can roam. They've got dams and natural vegetation to go and play with and break and do their thing during the days. And at night time we have to secure them in stables for their safety, and also just to enable us to manage them better. So
What does a daily routine of an elephant as such look like?
So our daily routine is the elephants come out of their stables early morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock. The guys will do a quick brush down and a quick, what we call a daily reinforcement training program. So about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, just, saying morning to the elephants, brushing them down, checking them over, etc. Then the elephants will go and feed and just be elephants. If we have space for research, we'll do a bit of a research program in the morning and just allow some of the ellies to feed while some are doing research. We have our program then during the week. We do a 9 o'clock experience, so people come in, meet the elephants, and then spend a 9 o'clock experience with them. Once they finish, the elephants go back out to feed on the farm again until 12 o'clock, and then we do another 12 o'clock experience, and then and that finishes. And then in summer we'll do swims with the elephants. You can go and bathe the elephants and wash them, and then we also allow people to join the elephants in the the farm, so they can go and do a nature walk with the elephants, watch what they do, how they break trees, how they interact with the environment and other species, etc. And then that's it for the day, unless we have a research project or we want to do something else. And then on weekends we'll do that at 3 o'clock as well, so we can do an interaction at 3. And that's how we operate. And then the elephants go back to bed around 5:30, in the evening. And then we just have 2 handlers who look after them throughout the night in their stable complex, and that's it.
And you know, exactly the time of year, can you just take us through about like how can they help within the conservation efforts in terms of contribution? How can one? Because there are people who are watching
So conservation of elephants is such a polarized subject, and I don't think there's a right way and a wrong way. So on one hand, you've got countries that are losing elephants hand over fist because of human-wildlife conflict, poaching, etc. And then on the other hand, you've got countries that have increasing elephant populations that are actually now becoming a huge problem for the countries, and causing damage to the environment, which in turn impacts on other species which are also equally as endangered. So it's a catch-22. Elephant populations have decreased from 4 million elephants to 400,000 in Africa. Asia is confined to about 50,000 elephants, but the human population's gone from 200 million people to 1.4 billion, and it'll double by 2050. So we've got to really look at this very closely. My advice to the people watching at home is to think about the bigger holistic picture and the consequences of what's happening. So if you look at Southern Africa, we've probably most of the reserves that have elephants have actually got more than their carrying capacity, and that's why these people, organizations are running contraception, because we're actually trying to contracept an elephant that we're telling the world is on heading towards extinction. Here we are contracepting it. Why? Because it's actually run out of space, and it's impacting on the environment, and so people have acknowledged that and are trying to manage their populations, whereas other countries have populations that are really low and are trying to bolster those. So you have to just look at the scenario, and each scenario is different, and then just try and do the best for what I call the bigger picture. And my feeling is diversity is key. The more opportunities we have for elephants to thrive and survive and also help wildlife, then the better it is. So think Oh, the big elephant. So that big bull, his name is Chova, and he's our dominant bull. He's pretty chilled and relaxed, though, and he's very, very kind and gentle. He's very, very kind and gentle. Behind him is actually his daughter, on the right-hand side. Her name is Bella, and she's made of sugar and spice and all things nice. She really is a really nice elephant cow. She's about 8 years old, and then to her, behind Chova and to Bella's left is Messina, Bella's mother, and Messina is, I would explain her in a simple way of saying she's a lady. She's lovely, she's kind, she's gentle, but she's firm. She knows exactly what she wants, and she takes no rubbish from anybody. So those are the 3 characters that you're looking at in this current picture now. Yeah, and obviously the warthogs on the
protecting the reserve on its own and maintaining it on just maintaining the reserve.
Sure. Well, a 300 hectare reserve is pretty easy to maintain, but so we have a staff complement of about 35 people looking after the elephants and are involved. Everybody from our receptionists all the way through to the team looking after the elephants. Obviously there will be a farming team, what we call our property team, and they're the ones that are maintaining the roads and the fence lines and the infrastructure. We have security and all of that too, so they would keep protecting, the property at night, anti-poaching and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Just on the fun side of things, maybe some few educational insights or fun facts, that are unique that we don't know, somebody doesn't know about animals, maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Sure. So what most people probably don't know about elephants is that they're gregarious by nature. They're very family orientated, they love interaction, and they're very inquisitive, so they learn fast. Our elephants sense of smell 14 times better than a good dog, so we've used them to find explosives and drugs and various things like that, which is unbelievable. Training wise, they learn really, really quickly. Our elephants respond to between 120 and 160 different verbal commands, depending on the research and the film work that they've been involved in, etc., etc. And they train really easily. We'll use oranges and food rewards for that, just like you do your dogs at home. It's actually really rewarding to work with them like that. Hearing, they can communicate up to 8 kilometers away, which is quite interesting. We've done research on that to see how low they can go and how high they can go in their hearing ability. And they also use infrasound, so sound that you and I can't hear as a human being. They can communicate through the ground and through the air. It's a really low rumble. You feel the vibrations rather than actually hearing it, and you know that they're chatting to each other. So those are things that most people don't know about elephants. They're really intelligent. They've got all these abilities that we're only just touching the surface of understanding.
And while David was taking people on a tour, he showed us some of the elephants that have been injured, and I just wanted you to tell us maybe a success story of an elephant that came here and under the reserve it died.
No. So I think the success stories are elephants like Nyanedi. Her tusk was broken inside of her face, and so she was, problematic. It was that was festering, and it was going to, be a real problem for her. So when we took her in, we applied, medical aid and care, and today she's, part of the herd. She's educating the public and contributing to research and conservation. So there's an elephant that was on death's door, and we've taken in and really helped, to thrive and survive. Yeah.
And does the reserve collaborate with other organizations or sanctuaries for elephant?
So we've established something we call the Elephant Care Association of Southern Africa, where we're working with other elephant facilities like ours, and we're just trying to improve best practice, so improve the training, improve the well-being of the elephants, improve the welfare, improve the handler training, etc., and that sort of stuff, and infant experts. If you take all of the facilities that have elephants under human care, we have a lot of knowledge, and we're able to help a lot. So that's what we're trying to do through the ICASA, the Elephant Care Association of Southern Africa.
And just last 2 questions. I think I might be repetitive, but I'm sorry.
No, don't be worried.
Sorry, my question's so nicely. Are there any reintroductions or rehabilitation programs for elephants at this reserve particularly?
We don't really have a reintroduction program. There's already too many elephants on most of the reserves that they're on, and I feel that actually instead of us reintroducing our elephants to an area, we should take the overpopulated elephants from reserves that are overpopulated and really under pressure and impacting negatively on other species, and maybe put those onto any land available. So we should be doing elephant translocations rather than trying to move elephants from a captive facility where they've got the best care 24/7 and are contributing to research and conservation than rehabilitating or rewilding them or whatever it is. So my feeling is these elephants can contribute. The elephants that are going to get culled or put down because of overpopulations, we should be looking at finding space for them to thrive and survive. Yeah.
And I know there's a number of workers here who actually understand and go about communicating with the elephants. As a stranger or someone who's going to start, maybe who's interested in working here, what would be the process of being able to communicate with such a giant?
The first and foremost is the elephants do the recruiting. If they like you, then you're part of the family and the team. If they don't like you, kiss yourself goodbye. So that's the most important thing, is that you actually have an affinity for animals and you have a soft, gentle personality, but you have to be kind of firm, otherwise you'll have the elephants jumping all over you. And that's it. We'll generally have people come in, we'll do our own in-house training, and we'll make sure that the guys understand how we want to train the elephants, how we want them to be around the elephants. Obviously it's preferable that you come with a nature conservation degree or something like that, and then we push you in and get you going that way. But yeah. No worries. Okay, so behind me we actually have some guests who are now going to spend time with the elephants. They're going to go out, observe them on the reserve. They're going to spend time with them and just watch how the elephants spend time on the reserve, eating, feeding, interacting with other species, that sort of thing. And that's what our nature walk is about, just showing the public what elephants get up to on a close manner while they're out in the bush, doing their thing, just being naturally elephants. The process takes about 45 minutes for the walk, 45 minutes, an hour, and they just accompany the elephants out to the field. No, these elephants, I think, are wanting nothing. They get food 365 all year round. They're not susceptible to droughts and various things like that. They've got we have 5 veterinary vets on call for their health and welfare at any stage. So these elephants are actually living what I would call a pampered life. They literally have the best food delivered to them, every day. They have the best water, all the time. They can walk on a natural reserve, they can interact with other species, they can break trees, they can be elephants, they can educate. I think they're living it. Oh yeah, so other species, we've got wildebeest, we've got warthogs, we've got kudu, nyala, eland, giraffe, waterbuck. Yeah, all the normal plains game, just not any other predators or big five.
You shared some beautiful insight, and I think somebody would be interested, maybe the incline of elephants compared to the human population.
Yeah, so I think the major thing, and I think that this is what World Elephant Day is all about. It's just showing the impact that humans have had on wildlife. So the human population in 1920 was around 200 million people in Africa. Today we sit at about 1.4 billion people in Africa, and it's going to double by 2050. So we'll have 3 billion people in the next 25 years in Africa. As humans, we've taken over all the best land for our agriculture, our cities and our livestock, and we've confined wildlife to roughly 12% of the land it used to have, and elephants are confined to 6% of that land. That land isn't good enough for agriculture, isn't good enough for livestock, and now we're trying to keep the world's biggest mega herbivore. These guys eat 300 kilograms of food a day, they drink 200 liters of water a day, and you're trying to keep these animals on the worst quality land. Doesn't really make sense. Elephant populations, 1920, with 4 million elephants in Africa. Today, only 400,000 left in Africa. But that's mainly because of the land issue. So the fact that they've been confined to smaller and smaller places, and they've been shot out or, kept out like many other species, because they conflict with humans for resources and space and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's a problem that I think is something that we have to really address, is actually allowing elephants to have access to more land, and that's one of the reasons we've implemented our AI auto gates to allow elephants to migrate, allow elephants to access land that they wouldn't normally have access to, etc. In the wild, or
both in the wild and the reserve. Can you even touch on the one on the zoos, like how mental?
Yeah, so mental well-being is obviously always considered, especially at a facility like ours. In the end of the day, you're trying to make sure that your animals are the happiest animals that you can possibly have. As there's stress in all life. Predators eat, herbivores. We have droughts, we have storms, we have fires, we have all of these things that contribute to stresses. And so it's healthy to have some stress and some goodness. We can't live a perfect life the whole time. But from our point of view, we want to have happy elephants and healthy elephants, because happy, healthy elephants are safe elephants. If you are mistreating your animals and not looking after them, then you're going to land up with dangerous animals. And so from a captive facility, I think that's the most important. From a well-being of elephants in the wild, I don't think that is maybe considered as much. I mean, one of the things that people are looking to do is manage elephant populations in reserves by destroying artificial watering points, so that the calves have to walk further to keep their population down, so they would die naturally. Although that's a man-made decision. We've just taken the decision to take away watering points. And is that really well-being for those animals? But it is natural, but is it natural to be fenced in a 2,000 hectare game reserve or a 2 million hectare game reserve, So these are the things that this is why it's so difficult to think straight about elephant conservation and wildlife conservation, because we don't live in an ideal world. And because we don't live in an ideal world, we have to do the best with what we've got. And as long as everybody's striving to try and do the best, it's difficult. I mean, is the elephant's well-being being considered if you're darting hormones into it to try and manage its breeding? Its natural thing is to breed. Are we considering well-being there? If we don't know the outcomes, etc. Are we considering well-being if we translocate, if we hunt, if we cull? These are all man-made things that we are making decisions on. Yeah. Elephants evolving in terms of keeping up with the changing environment, the climate change? So I can't tell you 100% if elephants are evolving to keep up with climate change and things like that. I think it's happening maybe too fast for genetics. But what I can say is that we have a genetic project which we're looking at inbreeding issues. We are trying to look and see if there's inbreeding issues and what we call informed conservation. So before we translocate a herd of elephants, or before we take a decision to destroy a problem-causing animal or a damage-causing animal, we should try and get its genetics and its DNA, so that we can then say, well, this elephant is not inbred, or he's got good genetics for whatever traits it is, a good personality or big tusker genes or something like that, and then either move that animal to somewhere where his genetics can contribute, or if they are inbred, then we shouldn't be moving them to reserves or translocating them to other places, and potentially there we would be then best advised to maybe cull those animals or euthanize them, so that we're not spreading bad genetics. So again, it's human management. I think it's very important to look at these issues, because elephants are heading towards a bottleneck like many other species. Thank you.